What is up, guys? Welcome back to the most dangerous series on the channel, simulating Pokemon in real life using AI. If you remember the absolute disaster with Togepi last week, well, today things are about to get 1,000 times worse. Last week, I put the fate of my house in your hands with a poll on the community tab, and the results were absolutely brutal. I was hoping you guys would vote for Meowth, the money cat, so I could maybe afford some home repairs. But no, Meowth only got 12% of the votes. Togepi came in second with 30%. But in a landslide victory with 58% of the total votes, you guys chose Ponyta, a fire horse. You guys didn't pick a pet, you picked a living flamethrower. So, thanks for that. I'm literally on the phone buying premium fire insurance right now. This time, I'm not risking my life trying to hatch an egg like I did with the T-Rex. That is way too risky for a creature that radiates heat. Instead, I contacted a special supplier from the Safari Zone and ordered a direct shipment. And there it is. Do you hear that engine? A heavy-lift military drone is landing in my front yard right now. It is dropping off a massive crate. And this isn't a cardboard box, guys. This is a reinforced, heat-resistant steel container. Look closely at the ventilation slots. There is black smoke pouring out of them. The corners of the metal crate are actually glowing red because of the intense heat inside. The outside is plastered with warning signs. Danger, extreme heat, keep away. To open this thing, I can't just wear my shorts and t-shirt. I have to suit up in this silver, aluminum-coated fire proximity suit. Okay, punching in the unlock code. 3, 2, 1. The hydraulic system hisses, and the steel door slowly lowers. Oh my God. It feels like I just opened the door to a giant toaster oven. The heat hit my face
critical.
instantly,
I'm reading
and I'm standing
3,000
15 feet
degrees.
away. And there he is. Standing in the middle of a bed of burning straw is Ponyta. This is the most realistic simulation I have ever seen. He has cream-colored fur and huge, innocent eyes. But the main feature is that mane and tail. That is not hair, guys. That is literal fire dancing on his back, burning at over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. He looks at me, blinks, and lets out a loud neigh. I think the long trip made him hungry. I decided to lead him into the house. That was my first mistake. The second his hoof touched my living room's oak floor, sizzle. The wood instantly charred black under his feet. Everywhere he walked, he left glowing charcoal footprints. In less than 3 minutes, my expensive Persian rug turned into a pile of ash. The smoke alarm started screaming, and I had to run around ripping the batteries out. But wait, in the middle of this chaos, with my room feeling like a sauna, I had a brilliant idea. Why should I be scared? Why pay for gas and electricity bills when I own a literal perpetual motion heater? I decided to train Ponyta to do house chores. Challenge number 1, making breakfast. I usually take 5 minutes to toast bread. Let's see what Ponyta can do. I used a long pair of metal tongs to hold a slice of white bread near his mane. 1, 2. Done. Actually, not done. It's burnt to a crisp. In 1 second, the bread went from white to golden to black, and then caught on fire. Ponyta looked at me with those innocent eyes like, "Why are you feeding me charcoal?" Okay, note to self, next time, just swipe it for 0.1 seconds. Challenge number 2, morning coffee. I need to boil a kettle of water. Instead of the stove, I placed a metal kettle right on Ponyta's back. Don't worry, I used a heat-proof slate pad so it wouldn't hurt him. The result was terrifying. Less than 3 seconds later, the kettle started screaming like a train whistle. The pressure spiked so fast, the lid blew off and smashed into the ceiling, and boiling water shot out like a geyser at Yellowstone Park. The steam filled the room and peeled the wallpaper right off the walls. Conclusion, it's convenient, sure, but I've destroyed 3 kettles, 5 loaves of bread, and I almost singed my eyebrows off. Ponyta is not a maid. He is a household hazard. The next problem is food. What do horses eat? Grass? Carrots? Apples? I thought so too. I tried to hand him a fresh carrot, but the moment his hot nose touched the vegetable, the water inside flashed into steam, and the carrot shriveled up into a dry black stick. Turns out, Ponyta doesn't eat salad. He consumes thermal energy. I had to run to the hardware store and buy 5 bags of BBQ charcoal briquettes and dried oak wood. Watch him crunch on these glowing hot coals like we eat popcorn. The sound is satisfying, but also kind of terrifying. And the absolute worst part is hygiene. I used to bathe my T-Rex in a plastic tub and he loved it. But for Ponyta, that is illegal. When I tried to spray a little water on his legs to clean off the dust, the water hit the fire and caused a massive steam explosion. Ponyta panicked and kicked backward, shattering my antique vase. I realized this species bathes in sand and ash, kind of like a chinchilla, not water. It became obvious he couldn't live inside anymore. If I kept him here one more night, I wouldn't have a house left. I needed to build a specialized environment, a true fire-type habitat. I spent 3 days renovating the backyard. This time, no wood fences, no wire mesh. I imported tons of obsidian, volcanic glass. It's the only material that can withstand his heat. I covered the ground with 8 inches of red desert sand mixed with activated charcoal. Instead of a fountain or a pool, I installed a high-powered infrared heat lamp system in the center, keeping the zone at a cozy 120 degrees. The moment I released Ponyta into his new home, he was so happy. He galloped around, leaving beautiful trails of fire on the sand. When night fell, the flames from his body illuminated the black obsidian walls, looking like something out of a fantasy movie. Finally, I can sleep without smelling smoke. But we have a new problem. Ponyta isn't just hot. He is fast. Insanely fast. My 50-square-foot backyard is way too small for him. He started getting stressed. He was pacing and headbutting the stone walls, creating mini tremors. To burn off his energy, I can't just walk him on a leash. So I did something crazy. I took him to the track. I rented an abandoned stretch of highway in the Nevada desert. I also borrowed a modified sports car to race alongside him. The plan? I drive, Ponyta runs. 3, 2, 1, go. The engine roared, but the sound of Ponyta's hooves was even scarier. Right off the line, he shot forward like a missile. I floored the gas pedal. The speedometer hit 60, then 80, then 100 miles per hour. Ponyta was running right next to me, looking completely relaxed, his fire mane streaming backward like a comet. It was insane. His hooves were pounding the asphalt so hard they were melting the road, leaving 2 burning trails of fire behind my car, looking exactly like the DeLorean from Back to the Future. At top speed, he let out a neigh and accelerated, leaving my sports car in the dust like I was parked. He broke the sound barrier, creating a sonic boom that shook the entire desert. But the noise and the massive heat signature from that race woke something up. We had run too close to the coast. From the foaming ocean water, a massive dark shadow rose up. A giant turtle with 2 massive
challenge me!
It's a Blastoise, a high-level
Then
water
prepare
type,
to burn!
the ultimate hard counter to fire types. We had invaded his territory. The Blastoise roared, and it sounded like a tsunami crashing. Without hesitation, he charged his cannons and fired a hydro pump. 2 high-pressure jets of water ripped through the air straight at Ponyta. Ponyta tried to use his speed to dodge, but the wet sand slowed him down. The water beam clipped his left side. A loud hiss echoed. The flames on Ponyta's mane started to die out, turning from bright red to weak blue smoke. He collapsed onto the wet sand, shivering from the cold and pain. I jumped out of the car, running to shield him, even though I knew I couldn't stop a monster like that. The Blastoise reloaded for a finishing shot, but right in that moment of despair, a miracle happened. Ponyta's body began to glow. Not normal firelight, but a blinding white light, bright as the sun. The temperature around us spiked, instantly evaporating the ocean water under my feet. Ponyta is evolving. Inside the light, his body grew rapidly. Muscles expanded. A sharp, diamond-hard horn sprouted from his forehead, and those red-orange flames exploded into a brilliant, intense, white-hot fire. The light faded. Standing before me was no longer a baby horse. It was Rapidash, the super-speed fire unicorn, the king of the plains. Rapidash let out a powerful neigh that shook the ground. He didn't wait for the Blastoise to attack. He charged. Move used. Flare Blitz. Rapidash turned into a giant drill of fire, moving at supersonic speed. When Blastoise fired his water cannons, the heat from Rapidash evaporated the water before it could touch him. Boom! A direct hit. The multi-ton Blastoise was launched into the air and splashed back into the deep ocean. The water boiled for a second, then went silent. The enemy had fled. I stood there, stunned. Rapidash turned to look at me, lowering his head gently to touch his hot nose to my hand. We won. I thought the story would end here. I thought I would ride Rapidash home, and we would be the coolest duo in the world. But destiny had a different ending in mind. Rapidash's roar of victory had traveled further than I thought. From a nearby palm forest, a soft neigh answered. Leaves rustled. A magnificent creature stepped out. It was another Rapidash, but this one didn't have red or white fire. Her mane and tail burned with blue and violet flames, dancing softly like a galaxy. It was a female Rapidash, a rare shiny version. My Rapidash froze. He slowly walked toward her. The two fire horses stood face to face under the purple twilight. They nuzzled each other. The white fire and the blue fire mixed together, creating floating purple sparks that looked like thousands of fireflies. The scene was breathless. But then I realized a painful truth. I was the third wheel. My little stone habitat in the backyard would never be big enough for this love story. Rapidash belongs to the wild, where he can run to the ends of the earth without burning anyone's carpet. Rapidash looked back at me one last time. His eyes seemed to say, "Thank you," and goodbye. I smiled, holding back a tear, and waved. Go on, buddy. Live a good life. The two Rapidashes turned and galloped toward the ocean, and they didn't stop at the shore. They ran on top of the water. The heat from their hooves created a layer of steam, allowing them to glide across the waves. Two streaks of light, one white, one blue, racing toward the horizon until they vanished into the night. I drove home alone. The house felt quiet and a little cold. No crackling fire, no scorch marks on the floor. I walked out to the backyard to clean up the stone pen. But as I passed the small woods behind my house, I found something strange. On an oak tree stump that was half burnt, there was a pile of purple sludge clinging to the bark. It was glowing faintly in the dark. I got closer and shined my flashlight on it. The sludge suddenly vibrated. It shrank, then expanded, and slowly formed two tiny eyes and a mouth that was smiling. What on earth is this? Is it radioactive waste? Is it a Grimer? Or worse, is it a Ditto, the Pokemon that can transform into anything? I shivered. It looks like my peaceful life isn't going to last very long. What do you guys think this purple slime is? Comment down below which Pokemon you want me to simulate or fight in the next episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I have a feeling this next creature is going to cause way more trouble than fire. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.